You got it, Will?
Now, the last video was building and mounting this thing, getting in place. This next video is going to be about building all the ductwork on the ground and getting it 10 foot into the air. How hard could that be? Well, I figured I actually should read the ductwork installation guide, inventory all my parts. My suggestion is don't open anything that you don't need right away. You're bound to misplace it. Ask me how I know. I deviated from the plan and crimped my own piece of pipe and started off with the 2 foot straight section. This is supposed to come out with an elbow, but supposedly this was better. You can see that I have a pretty open ceiling here. We're going to have to put some supports here and down there. And I'm going to create some hollow plywood columns. You know what I like about working off my knees? Nothing. This whole column is going to be instrumental in supporting some ductwork and electrical. You know what's invaluable for this project? Scaffold and some extra muscle. Now let me introduce you to grandson 6'3" and grandson 5'11". I told these guys it was all about them learning something, but actually it was helping the old man, adding more girts, some infrastructure, and assembling ductwork. And then we proceed to build everything on the ground first. It's a lot easier than hanging up in the air. After we got our complicated transitions and joinery together, we just added some more pipe and built a full complete section. It's a lot easier to screw and tape this stuff while it's on the ground. And as we were getting ready to lift up, put everything in place, alas, my son-in-law just couldn't help himself. He had to show up and help. It's obvious that I'm really good at giving direction and pointing. So we pre-strapped to the girts, and we lifted the pipe into place and used those straps to, oh boy. Now we're saying that, you know what? I think we forgot to add a 2 foot riser, and you know what? We'll just mount it all the way to the top where it belongs, and then we'll come back and put that riser in later. Got to be able to think on the fly, and that's what we did here. So we got the main branch installed along the wall and complete. Got to show you how we installed this column and got it in place. We're going to run electrical down through this to power up the table saw. We used a nut and a bolt to create this loop around the pipe. That way we could slide it back and forth and adjust it as needed. It allowed us to use the strap to lift the pipe up onto the outriggers that were on the scaffolding. And using these same pre-attached straps, when we got the ductwork into place, we could just screw it off permanently. And we actually made it level. Well, we got this branch and part of that branch put in, and then I lost my crew. So now it's up to me to put in that branch, that branch, that branch, that branch, this branch, that drop, that drop, that drop, and that drop. That seems pretty simple. I'm on my own now, so you know I love working on my knees. So I created all my drops, connected them. Now, if you're going to put a screw through it, make sure that you cover it up with foil tape to keep it sealed. The flange on the blast gate is too close to the ductwork, so using foil doesn't work. The silicone really comes in handy and made a huge difference. Now that I'm on my own, I figure I'll do all the electrical work and make all the connections and make sure if this thing is actually... Whoa. Well, wait a minute. How fun does this look? This was when I decided the crew needed a little more credit than I gave them. But I was on my own and had to figure out something. And I figured out that I can't get that from up here, so I had to climb down. Lift up. And climb back up. And use my patented loop system, straddle system, to get this pipe into place, only to walk away and turn around Never fear, it's an easy fix. And showing my cat-like skills and reflexes to climb back down. I know you've never tried to put a piece of pipe in place that's is too long, but you're just sure if you and then finally realize it's never going in. So you climb back down and you climb back up. With the proper piece you should have had in the first place. Oh look, it actually fit. And then you climb back down. Well, it looks like we're making progress. Don't fool yourself. Still got a branch we got to put in right along here. And right above me there's a branch that goes back to that branch. Now I can't think for the life of me why I didn't build these drops on an assembly table at waist height. Now when you're working by yourself, you need to get creative and use your mobile miter stand to hold up your drop in place while you climb to the improper step while trying not to kill yourself. Now, for whatever reason, I came up an adapter shy and I actually had to crimp this pipe, which they say you can't do, but a little convincing can get it done. And it made for a really nice connection here for the drop on the router table. And the final connection. Got our finished column, which will bring the electrical down to the table saw. It also secures the drop. Not all the machines are connected because we got to leave some room for the future CNC. And a completed system. Got a branch that runs along the wall and then across over the table saw and the future CNC. Branch that runs across the other side to the shop, to the far wall, where we have the location of the miter saw and router table and the planer and drum sander. So is this what a woodworking shop is supposed to look like? Not a home storage unit? Well, I'd say this dust collection system is about 98% done. But as the workflow evolves, I think there's some machines that might find a different home. So there's all kinds of projects on our list. The creative director says I can do anything I want as long as I build the hood over the range first. I'd appreciate it if you leave in the comments what you think our next project should be. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.